Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a wonderful new year and holiday season. This video is a little bit belated. I was hoping to get this up like right around New Year's, but it's a little late, but at least I'm still doing it. So I thought I would do a video on all of my 2025 knit plans. I started knitting last year around the fall. I was knitting a lot when I was working part-time at my job, but I kind of took a decently long break last January when I started full-time again. So basically right when I started full-time again, I stopped doing knitting pretty much completely, I think, and I didn't get back to it until I want to say August of 2024. I definitely don't know much to knitting. I'm a very much so beginner. I did learn when I was 9 years old, but I just learned briefly from my grandma. Nothing more really came out of that, but I really do plan on cranking up some good projects this year. I do have some plans and I really want to get them done this year and just really practice on my knitting and not stressing as much as I feel like I have been, because all of my knit stuff pretty much has been gifts. So I feel like that adds a lot of pressure to me, but I think I need to just focus on doing random stuff, knitting stuff for myself more, just so that there's less pressure, not necessarily because I need more stuff or whatever. I think it just will take a lot more of the stress away from knitting. So while we chat, I'm going to be working on this scarf. It's very wonky. The needle got stuck in there. I have not worked on this in about a month and it doesn't look that great, but we're just gonna work on it. A big thing I wanted to talk about in this video is something I've been working on for about a week now. As of filming this video, it is my first day back from like Christmas break, and over Christmas break I actually learned how to crochet. So I have been wanting to learn how to crochet since last year, pretty much exactly a year ago to when I wanted to learn, and I finally just like sat down with a video and just learned, because that like I have such a hard time learning, but then I just have to do it. So I will talk more about that in another video probably, but I just wanted to show you one thing I'm working on with crochet. This is what I am working on. It's not great, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. The yarn I'm using isn't, it's a very soft and nice yarn to work with, but I feel like it kind of like slips off the hooks, at least for me, pretty easily. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but we are working on something. I just want some little projects to do with crochet just to keep me working towards it. So that is a big 2025 goal of mine, is to just keep working on that and not just giving up on it, because I think knitting and crocheting would be pretty cool. I still prefer knitting, but anyways, it's probably not a good project to be working on for a video. I'm like tempted to just crochet because I feel like I'm looking down just as much anyways. So the biggest project that I have for 2025 is a 2025 temperature blanket. That's like the biggest reason I wanted to learn how to crochet. I have been wanting to do a temperature blanket since before I really fully knew how to knit. Like I did, like I said, I learned from my grandma when I was 9, but 8 or 9, but I hadn't done it in a while, and I just really wanted to do a temperature blanket. And of course I know you can do it with knitting, but I feel like crochet would be like easier, if that, I don't know. It just I mean, I feel like it would be faster, and I like the look of crochet blankets. Mostly I like the look of knit, everything else, but I do think I prefer crochet blankets. I really want to do a temperature blanket. I actually have all my yarn, but I'm waiting for a bit of yarn to come in the mail, and I need it for January 1st, so I have kind of been held off a bit, but it should be coming in the mail tomorrow through like the weekend, I'm hoping. That is like my biggest project. Definitely will be posting quite a bit more videos on that. So if you would like to hear more on that and are curious about a very, very beginner crocheter doing a temperature blanket, then subscribe and there will be lots of videos on that, hopefully. Next up, as far as crochet, we'll just keep on the crochet train, even though this is a knit video, but you know. I want to figure out how to do stuffed animals, like doing, I don't know if it's amigurumi necessarily, but I just want to do little stuffed animals because I think they're so cute. Like that's another big reason why I wanted to learn how to crochet, because I feel like knitting stuffed animals is not as easy, for sure. So I think that would be really cool. And kind of along with that, I want to do patterns. I want to do knit and crochet for the stuffed animals patterns, because fun fact, I have never ever done a pattern like for knit or crochet, never. I freehand everything I make, and that's a big reason why I feel like my things don't fully turn out great, because I basically don't know a ton about knitting. I really don't. So I kind of just use what I know. I hate learning new things, so I feel like that's why I don't like doing patterns, and why I don't know much more than a stockinette. I definitely in 2025 want to start expanding my knowledge on knitting. I want to just do a lot more knitting and just like a lot more practice, because at the end of the day, like, it's not that big of a deal if you mess up something. And I want to do less deadline projects because I feel like, I mean, back to what I was saying about always making presents for people, I feel like knitting is almost associated with stress, when it's, for me, I feel like a big part of like why I feel calm is just like knitting. I feel like knitting really helps me feel calm, but then I feel like I add like that added stress when there's like a time limit. So I really think that that's what I need to focus on, is just, you know, learning some new stuff and less time limits, less presents. Honestly, I think, I don't know what next year is gonna bring as far as Christmas, but I definitely hope I'm at the point where I'm feeling more comfortable with money and everything, so that I don't feel the pressure to knit something just to have enough presents. And I shouldn't have that pressure anyways, because it's plenty. What I got people was plenty without the knit stuff. But I think next year I'm gonna kind of lean back a bit on knitting stuff, because I feel bad. I feel like all the people I gift my stuff to, they all get like my first projects, which like I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to like practice, and maybe next year, like once I do get better over the year, and once like December, or realistically November, October hits, I will feel more comfortable to knit them something that will actually be useful and they'll actually use. So that's kind of, I don't know, that was a bit of a tangent on random stuff, but that's like a big goal of mine, is just to be more productive and just learn a lot this year. And my a lot may not be yours, because like I said, I am a beginner, and even though I have been knitting for like a decent amount of time, I feel as though I'm not to the point where I should be, which is not like, I'm not like upset. I just feel like sometimes I feel a bit weird posting these videos, because I feel like I know nothing about the craft, and I don't know, but it's really not about that. And it's really, like I said, it's just supposed to be something for me that just calms me down, and it's just something to do while I watch a movie or whatever, because I can't sit still during a movie or anything. Like I feel like I need to be doing something with my hands, and knitting is the perfect thing. Crocheting, not so much because you can't look up at the TV, but for the most part, even though I'm looking down half the time with this project, because why is that so hard for me? And I'm sorry you guys can't see it very well, but here is the progress we've made. Is it any? I don't know. So next up, I would like to make more wearables. So I am actually working on a t-shirt right now. It is working up super quick, and I think stuff like that is like, that's my favorite thing to work on, is like a sweater, because for the most part, when I'm just doing like a stockinette sweater, I just work it up, and then you get to that point where it's kind of annoying at like the shoulders, and then you have to do the sleeves, which is kind of annoying, and then the collar, which is annoying. But for the most part, in between all of those steps, it's a lot of fun and very relaxing, and just stockinette and just very nice. Yeah, I really want to do useful projects, but again, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself for that, because I feel like then I'll be like, okay, well, if it's useful, then it has to look perfect, because if I'm going to actually use it, then I want it to look good, but it's fine. We're really going to try to not put too much pressure on that. This is kind of something I feel like I've already talked about in this video, but I want to try out new stitches in knitting. I feel like I need to get past the stockinette, even though it's so much fun and I love it and I like how it looks, but I do want to try out a few new stitches. That's not like a huge one. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I like stockinette. I like how it looks. I'm fine with it. But I think it would be nice to try out a couple new things. This one might seem a bit ambitious to some. I want to do a weight one sweater. So like I was saying earlier, I really enjoy making sweaters because they're just pretty much just up and down on those two panels. They're a lot of fun for me. But I feel like a fingering weight one, I mean, I've made one before for my sister with the Weasley sweater. That was fingering weight yarn. I feel like that was, if it wasn't so stressful, that would be a really nice project to do and work on for, like, you know, just have in the back burner almost, to just be able to pull out whenever you just want to get stuff done. Like, I feel like it would be a good project to bring to work and to do on my break, because it's gonna last a while, and like, I'm just gonna be doing stockinette. So I think I would like to make a fingering weight yarn sweater sometime this year. Probably that won't happen until more like the fall of this year, because I don't have much fingering weight yarn, or any, besides for like scraps, and I also don't want to be purchasing yarn right now because I want to like kind of use up my stock, especially since I'm buying like temperature blanket yarn. I really don't need to be spending more money on yarn right now. I think that's pretty much all of my goals. I feel like they're not like, I feel like they're all very broad and just, yeah, I don't know. But I'm very, very excited to work on some new stuff. I'm very curious to know what you guys have planned for the new year as far as knitting goes, crochet, whatever you do. Even if it's not either of those things, just whatever your hobby is, I would love to know what you are planning for 2025 and what some of your goals are. Obviously, we may not reach our goals, and that is totally fine. I don't feel too much pressure to meet all of my goals, but I feel like my goals aren't very ambitious for the most part. Basically, that's all I have for my goals, is just to learn more and I guess try to calm down a bit more when it comes to knitting. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you had a very good new year and you can look forward to 2025 and whatever it has to bring and what's in store. And I hope to see you guys in my next week's video.